Good morning. This is Pastor Jason of Kona Faith Center with a word for today. And the word for today is kingdom. Jesus spent 40 days after his resurrection talking to the apostles about his kingdom. This really struck me this morning. Jesus spent 40 days talking to the apostles about the kingdom. The kingdom must be the main goal, the primary purpose, the focal point of what it means to be a Christian. I'm not sure that I have a great understanding of the kingdom. I don't live in a society that has a king. Like most things, there are different kinds of kings. Jesus is the kind of king that is an absolute monarch. Jesus has unrestricted, unlimited power. Jesus has the right, Jesus has the authority to exercise complete sovereignty over the universe. Sovereignty means supreme authority, complete independence, self-government. Jesus does whatever he wants to do without input from anyone else. Jesus can do this because he actually owns everything. He made it in the first place. Everything is his. So when I think about the king, the kingdom, can I actually wrap my head around this idea that I belong to Jesus, that Jesus has the right, the full authority, the power to do anything he wants with me and with anybody else? The obvious answer is no, I can't. I can acknowledge that Jesus is Lord, that Jesus is the King. But is my every waking thought about how I can serve this absolute monarch? I don't think so. So how do I deal with the kingdom being the most important subject? Well, of course, I have to start with the acknowledgement that the kingdom is the most important subject. Hey, that's probably news to most of us. Then I have to learn and grow. I have to learn about not just kings and kingdoms, but the king and his kingdom. As I have wrestled with different ideas, especially in the last year or so, I keep coming back to the idea that everything I want to do, everything I desire, everything he wants me to do, everything he desires, flows out of my relationship with him. I want to honor him, respect him, being on him. I want health and prosperity and increase. I want people coming to Jesus. I want to play my part in that. I want to please God. I want to belong to Jesus. Whatever I seem to be thinking about, it all seems to come back to this idea of growing my relationship with Jesus, with the King. One of the statements that caught me today was the apostles said they're going to devote ourselves with a single purpose in prayer. Obviously, that single purpose needs to be the kingdom. But notice that God wants to talk with us about it. Prayer is talking to and listening to God. I would like to make a suggestion here, though. Spend more time listening than talking. Don't you already know what you know? You certainly don't know everything God knows. God answers prayer, or maybe more accurately, when we line ourselves up with what God wants to do. It gives God the freedom to do what he wants to do. Interesting thought. The point here being that if we're going to participate in the kingdom, if we're going to play our part in growing the kingdom, we need to grow our relationship with the King. My greatest desires are to do my part in growing his kingdom. I'm not looking for rewards, though they will come. I'm looking to please this God who loves me, who saved me, who delivered me, who set me free, this God who is sovereign, this God who is Lord, this God who is King. And I want to challenge you to join me by spending more of your focus on kingdom thinking. The word for today is kingdom. God bless. Check in tomorrow.